Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. And the C-130 Hercules is complete, fully featured and ready to fly. Let's go take a look at this plane as well as the instrument landing system script and all of its features, as this thing is going to allow this plane to do a bunch of automatic feats, such as just pressing a button and having the plane land perfectly every time, which is amazing. As long as I set up ILS everywhere that I need to fly, I essentially don't need to fly anymore. I could just let this plane do the rest, which is amazing. But let's go take a look at all of this plane's features and awesomeness. So the C-130 in real life is actually about this size. So for in Space Engineers, this small grid block size is 1/2 meter cubed. So there's certain things that are going to be a little too thick. Like the walls of an actual plane aren't going to be 1/2 meter thick. That's just a little too much. So because of that, the interior is a little bit smaller than it should be because the walls are a little too thick. The wings might be a little too thick as well. But in terms of proportions of like how long and how big the wingspan is, this is actually real life scale as far as I could get it. I found some sort of like design documents online of how big the plane actually is, and followed those as I built it. But we have 4 turboprop engines. At the moment, we only have the power capabilities to run 2 of them at a time, but the plane can fly just fine on only 2 engines. As soon as we trade out our hydrogen system for a gasoline system, then we will be able to run all 4 props for much longer than our hydrogen fuel tanks can keep the 2 props going. So we'll be able to fly higher and faster and for longer, which is awesome. We have 3 Gatling guns for defenses here as, oh god, we are getting bombarded by missiles. That is okay, we have our Sea-Wiz, and they are taking out the missiles for us. Thank you. We have 1 Gatling gun up here in the top. There's conveyor lines here to sort of trade fuel between the different wing pods, as well as up and connect up to the cockpit. This Gatling gun sits at the junction as a junction, and is mainly for anti-missile if anything's coming in from above like that. And we have 2 other Gatlings slung under the wings in between the engine pods, 1 on each wing. Not the best in terms of angle of fire, because they can't really shoot past, say, here. The engine pod is going to get in the way. However, they are, if I'm flying around and all of a sudden the CERT pops up and they spit out a drone at me, I immediately fly away from the drone as fast as possible and have these Gatlings able to shoot downwards and behind me, because more than likely I will be above the drone at that point, and they will at least put some damage down as I am flying away. That is the hope. So they are an anti-drone while I'm fleeing. This thing is not set up to do like head-on combat. We will make a version of this for the future that has, say, some heavy armor panels in certain areas and has great big, like, guns, and make it the AC-130. But for now, this is the C-130, and it's just a transport cargo vessel with a tiny bit of defenses. Some other features we have in the hold here is a full-on working cargo bay door. It is locked in there with a mag plate at the top so that it is nicely stowed for the flight. And our autopilot script here, which is picking up the ILS base runway, and we'll show off how that works here in just a moment. Remote control to set the plane to automatically fly to different directions, and timers to do some other automations. Cargo access to reload the turrets. But we're going to jump on in and show off the plane. Now, it's going to be kind of loud while I'm flying this. Not only am I getting all my power from engines, which are just so have this annoying hum to them, the flight power comes from these turboprops, which are actually quite loud in flight. As such, I'm going to play mainly in third person and far away when I'm using the plane, such that I don't have to constantly quiet down the edit. But if it's too loud, I will quiet it down in post editing, so you guys don't blast your eardrums on wearing headphones while watching the video. But let's talk about the instrument landing system and this little platform, as this is essentially what you need to set up an ILS anywhere. And I'll probably put these at every single base location I have so that I can automatically land my plane. We just need power source. We've got a little rotor turret up here, which has a camera on it for convenience, although that is not required, it's just convenient. This is set up to be the rotor turret's controller, and we have the program here, which is ILS. If we go into the scripts and search for it, instrument landing system, you can see the ILS localizer, which works with his aerodynamic physics script. This is as well done by DF Prakash. To set it up, you have to do just two simple actions. You put the hotbar buttons with start and end, then you just have to point at the start of the runway, press start, point at the end of the runway, press end. That's it, you're done. The thing is set up. And whenever the plane comes within the antenna range of this base, it'll look and have the grid name show up in here, and then it knows to land at that particular runway. You can tell the autopilot to land at any available runway or the runway of your choosing if you have multiple in one location and want to, say, have a large airport with several runways and have multiple planes coming in at once. So to set it up, all we have to do is hop into our seat here. You can see we have control the turret as well as ILS start and end. We take control of the turret. We aim at the start of this clearing where we want to come in and press start. And we aim at the end of the clearing where we want the runway to end and press end. And that's it. It's done. The runway is all set up. So now we can go hop into our plane, test our takeoff capabilities, and then come in for an automatic landing, which is going to be freaking amazing. Although I do believe I need to... Yes, steering on the nose. I need to put that back on. And also, I need to make sure that that mag plate is not used for parking. So when I unpark, it doesn't unlock my my hangar bay door, which would be a bad thing. So let's first come on back here and spin ourselves around in our little clearing that we've made by completely splitsy tactics, just driving our plane into various things. And what we should be able to do is we're all good. We got 95% hydrogen on board. We've got plenty of fuel. We'll go full power up this little hill here and then rotate, and we're climbing. Excellent. And then I've set up a timer block here to get you into the air and set up in the right direction. All we have to do is just press 7, and the plane will automatically level out and start climbing to our transit altitude, where we are pretty much above every single geological feature in this area. So it is a nice safe altitude to fly at. But there we go. C-130 Hercules has taken off and is airborne. And now that the autopilot is engaged, this is going to be a little loud because I'm going to go into first person. But you can just get out of your seat and walk around the plane. I mean, that's it. The plane is automatically flying. And once it reaches its target altitude, which it will in a second, there we go. I'll level off and fly straight until I give it some more commands. But I should have left the localizer range yet. No, okay, I haven't. You can see base runway is right there. So if I want to, I can just tell it to go back and land at the runway. But now that we've left the antenna range, that should have disappeared as an option. Yes, it has. So you can only do that when you're within the 5 kilometer, or whatever you want to set for distances, of that localizer runway range. Now that we're up here, we can do a little bit of scouting. So we've got that resource processing station there, 8 kilometers to the left. It's not really a threat right now, so I should be able to leave that alone. Oh, also a thing that I did in the mod settings here, if you go to aerodynamics physics and then physics, you can change the speed, max speed for grids. And I changed small ship to 250 from 150, which means that my planes, which I'm always going to make small grid, are going to fly a bit faster, while my large boats, which I'm pretty much always going to make large grid boats from now on, are going to be slower in the water. So that's why I made these changes here. But here we go. C-130 Hercules, that change to the top speed allows me to fly a very comfortable 75 meters a second here in the air without any issues of overheating and burning up from the aerodynamic physics. And we're already like 12 kilometers from base because we going fast. And if we use the script to turn around here and start heading home, we can actually show off one of the next features of the script, which is the ability to go towards a waypoint. So if I pop into my remote control here, wherever it be, there we go. We can have the home base coordinate, the waypoint. And if we go into the script here, and you can see what I've set up for button 2, which is called route. What it'll do is it'll find the remote control on your vessel. It'll take the GPS coordinate from that remote control. And while it won't fly directly at that GPS coordinate, which is down on the ground, it'll fly towards it with your current height and speed settings. So if I press 2, my plane is going to automatically fly towards the home base at this current flight level of 2,000 meters and 75 meters a second approximately. So now, if I want to, I could have a destination way in the distance, such as when I eventually need to fly off and get some cobalt or something like that. And I can just set the waypoint into the remote control and just have the plane take me there without having to do anything. And just get her up in the air, press the flight configuration button that I have that gets me up to this altitude and speed, and then just press the route button, and the plane automatically fly me there. And once you arrive at the location, you will automatically go into a circle holding pattern above the destination. And so it is quite literally, you could just be like, okay, I need to fly how far? like 30, 40 kilometers? It's going to take a few minutes. How about I press the button for the plane to automatically fly, and I'm going to go get a sandwich. And that works, which is amazing. But now we are actually in range of the runway here as base runway has popped back up. So if we press 4, which we have set up for land, the plane is going to automatically go into landing mode, and it's going to land itself. I am literally hands off on the keyboard. I'm just going to position the camera a little bit better here. And there we go. I'm not going to touch the keyboard again until we're on the ground, because this thing automatically lands, which is freaking amazing. So what it's doing is it's using those 2 positions that I set up in the ILS being communicated to this plane. By using those 2 positions, it knows the line between them and therefore an angle. So it's flying down to a certain height, and then it's going to do a nice big turn here to align itself to that approach angle. And once it does, it's going to pitch up to a certain pitch, and then it's going to hold that pitch while it varies the thrust from the engines in order to stay on a certain glide path. And that glide path will put us right at the threshold of the runway. We might come in a bit low, as sometimes that happens, but there is an adjustment in the script we can do to fix that. But here we go. We're pitching up, and we're on glide path for the empty field over there. So I'm just going to move the camera to the side so we can watch the landing from here. So right now, it's just feathering the thrusters just the right amount to keep me heading down towards the threshold of the runway. We may hit one of these trees, but that's okay. That's part of the fun. As we are coming on down ever so slowly, just missing the trees, and touchdown. And it automatically puts on your parking brake and turns off your engines. Woo! Automatic plane! God damn, I love this thing. And that is why I commissioned that script from that guy, from DF Crush. He made an amazing script, and I'm glad that I spurred him to make it, and that I did reward him generously for the script he made, as it is glorious. So now what we can do, we still have 93% hydrogen, I believe, at a nice slow flying speed, like 65, 70 meters a second. No, not too slow, but a decent speed. We have approximately 5 hours of flight time, which is more than enough to get anywhere nearby here. So, as such, we are going to we'll first unlock the hinge, we'll reverse the door, and then we will switch lock from the mag plate to release. Excellent. It's going to be a little complicated to do that. I could probably want to set up a timer for it. But I'm going to very quickly here get all the components I need inside of this plane so that we could fly off to the niter base and set up a resource extractor there to start getting potassium nitrate. Let's go! Okay, that should be it. That should be all the construction components we need. We've got enough stuff loaded onto this plane such that we should be able to build a tower, a turbine, a drill, a sorter, and a chemical refinery to process the niter. And then we can just leave it all going into a cargo container. And that should be excellent. Oh, I probably need one more sorter. Probably. Just to keep things all organized. Just construction components. Which... Fabricator! Go! Make me the components, damn it. There you go. So this should be quite nice to have all set up. Because I'm thinking that I can just set these sort of little resource extractor bases up in various locations of the world. And then all I need to do is just fly back there every so often, suck out a bunch of materials from it, put it all into the C-130, and then fly home and deposit them. In a perfect world, which I'm going to have to do some renovating of the plane off camera here, I'm going to get everything all like piped up, because currently, of course, this is not piped, this large cargo. And oh, can I even get by this? Wait, what? I thought I could get by this thing. Oh no! Shit! Well, that's a design flaw. I thought I could get around this thing. I thought I could get around it in testing. Or it's because it's on an angle? Come on. Let me through. Oh my god, really? Okay, fine. I'll make another door over here. Let me in. Yeah. Can't believe I locked myself out of my own plane. There we go. Alright, temporary door. This will work. This will work. This will work. Trust me. Let's reverse that door and get it all closed up here. I really have to change out how I'm loading my cargo. And that should auto-lock. Yes, we're good to go. We will go to our remote control and take out home base and put in the niter base. And what I should be able to do on a nice open beach like this is simply clear out my previous stuff, unlock, and then just literally press my altitude and speed configuration, and my plane should just take off, right? Oh! It took off with some tails struck. Damn! Okay, so that's why you shouldn't do that. Although it took off with essentially no runway. Ah, god damn it. Okay, we're learning the ins and outs of this plane. But, okay. Yeah, we kind of took off part of the door. I'll have to fix that later. Oh, god damn it. That's okay. That's okay. We're climbing. We can climb with all of that weight on board as well. We're well over 100,000 kilos, and yet we have got some good height, and we are flying towards the niter base at good speed, which is absolutely excellent. Probably one of the next things I want to fly out to after I'm done that is I think there's a... Is it in this mountain field? There's a base? But I do need to fly out to this cobalt patch and set up one of these mining spots, as that is definitely a thing I need to do a nice long flight out to and set up, because I'm going to need stuff like cobalt eventually. And we can take this Hercules, and on the way home, we can stop at the iron node after we set up the niter node. Pick up a bunch of iron and take it back to base, which is excellent. We should be able to, let's kick up our, wait, actually, let's see up hydrogen. So our current tanks are, they're not full. Time left. Oh, that's engines. A tank, here we go. 91% fuel, but we are empty in 5 hours and 8 minutes, approximately. Nice. Like, we have over 5 hours of flight time. And if you think about it, get out my calculator. We got 5 hours of flight time, which is 300 minutes, which is 1,800 seconds. And if we're going just shy of 70 meters a second, we can go 1,260,000 meters. And oh god, those missiles. Day close. Resource processing station, I will have to bomb you to all holy hell if you don't stop firing missiles at me when I fly out to my niter base. But that is, you know, 1,260 kilometer range on this Hercules as it stands right now, carrying a load. That's pretty frickin' amazing. But as we're getting close here, we will drop down some altitude. Drop down a kilometer. And swoop on into the niter base. And we will tell it to stop following the route by hitting route clear on my 3 button in order to manually land, because we haven't been here before yet. We can still probably drop, say, another 300 meters, 400 meters. I like having this separate page set up with all of the like speed plus or minus 5, heading plus or minus 5, altitude plus or minus 100, so that way I can just manually adjust everything ever so slightly as needed. We're close enough, we'll route clear, and we'll hit nav, so we're taking over manual control of the plane. And we are coming a little high, a little fast, so I think I'm just gonna can I just get by with some wiggles back and forth to bleed my speed and bleed my altitude? Because we are stalling a bit. We can just fly on down hard and fast. And flare, flare, flare. Oh no, yeah, we're too high, we're too fast. Let's go around and let's line up for a better runway. A better approach. We'll go low and slow in. And get a nice clean landing at the niter base. Perfect approach. Coming on in. Flare up. Get over that little hump. Land. Right into a tree. Ah. I pulled a splitsy. We'll get this thing turned around, and then we can unload from our damaged cargo door there. And set up our base here at Niter Base. Because I think we're literally just going to set up... Oh god, can I set up off of this base? Is it possible for me to... throw myself out the door. We shall lower the door and unlock the hinge. Port. That's okay. I brought some steel plate with me. I can repair that. Can I... Can I build off of you? I wonder. This is something I want to try, because I can build off of you. Can I steal your power? Because you've got turbines. I could take your power as I go. I wonder if I can. But first off, let's see what they are buying and selling again. You can buy from them iron, nickel, potassium nitrate, and silicon, and you can sell to them aluminum and copper right now. This does change all the time, so every time I come back, it'll be slightly different. But we'll just have to pop out, see what they need, and then fly back, grab those resources, and come back within one session before it resets. But I actually really want to see if this functions. If I bring out a line of blocks from there, and this is niter here, if I'm not mistaken. We are over the niter field. Yeah, there's niter below us. Take a look at where we are. This entire area, I believe, is the niter node. I should be able to just put the drill right on the edge of those blocks, and it will grind me. It'll find me the niter. Let's see. We need the advanced drill, static drill. And there we go. It'll be clicking into the ground there. And then we should have everything we need for resources in here. We just need to run them over and plug them in. I could set up a construction plane. I don't know if it would be the... I wonder if I could put some build and repairs into... sneak them into the wings or something like that. Would that work? Or if I need to make another version of this that's like the... like this will be cargo, and then there'll be like a builder built C-130 or something like that, where you fly out to location and then you can just park the plane beside something, and it'll work. Okay, so it's connected to their base. This drill. Oh, cool. We can actually see some of their base here. This advanced static drills needs 1.8 megawatts. They've got 2 turbines, which are only putting out a few hundred kilowatts. But that's good enough for their base. They have an engine, which it isn't turning on yet, but it would. So... Are we getting power from their base? Currently extracting niter? Yes. No, we're not getting power from their base. Damn. Well. That's alright. It was a good thought, an attempt to see if we could cheat the system and get a little bit of free power, but we can't. So, we're going to need to be able to put on one of these large wind turbines here and go up 20 blocks or so. So that's 1 block above the voxel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10. And then slap on down giant turbine-y boy. Yeah, I'll get this thing built up. Large wind turbine operational. And there we go. Drill online. And their wind turbines are still functioning fine. Ours is putting out that 1.62. And we are producing niter. So now, all we should need to do is we have our chemical refinery, which, okay, this is 3.5 megawatts. And this static drill is 1.8. And I'm actually going to cut you off from the base so I don't have to deal with all of their grids. Let's see here. This give me 4 in total. This is 1.8. And so if I add a 3.5, was it, for this? Yeah, it's not going to be able to run at full speed. Damn! I'm going to have to come back here and get a little bit more power for this thing. Because if I plug this in as it is right now and just go, like, thunk, and put the chemical refinery there, this thing will constantly be stuttering for power as both of them try to run at the same time. Okay, so it's going to need just a tiniest bit more. Probably not a large turbine, but just like maybe a small turbine or two somewhere else. Damn. Oh well. At least we got this thing started, and we got the base in position here. And when this is all set up and functioning, all we have to do is fly back here every so often and pick up a whole load of niter. Then fly back to base. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And that is going to be the whole point of this cargo plane, is making it so my trips to and fro my various resource collection outposts are going to be just super smooth. But the sun is going down. We're going to get this chemical refinery set up. We'll head on back to base, repair the cargo ramp, and grab some more materials to come out here and supplement this power just slightly. And I think that'll be it for this episode. But we managed to show off the capabilities of the C-130. Its automatic landing, its route mode, and its glorious ability to take off out of nowhere and tail strike itself onto the ground. I think for now I'm just going to do manual takeoffs. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.